بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sumayya Hassan and welcome to Aspire. In today's show, I want us to talk about how to excel in your performance review. A lot of us undergo performance reviews. And whether you're new to a job or you've been at it for a while, many times you find people who simply don't know how do they prepare themselves for a performance review or how do they handle it. And so you find people are very stressed. When your boss tells you, okay, next week we're doing your performance review, you have sleepless nights, you're so stressed, you're so worked out. Why? This could be your opportunity to shine, but only if you prepare. And that's what I want us to talk about today. At the beginning of the year, make sure you agree with your supervisor your targets for the year. And make sure you write that down and sign it off. And make sure the indicators are very clear. It's not just enough to say, this year I want you to increase sales. Okay, by how much? The indicators must be very clear. How will you know if you have achieved the target you're supposed to achieve? Yes? So make sure you set goals that are smart. Are they specific? Are they measurable? Are they attainable? Are they realistic? And are they time-bound? You must make sure each goal you commit to is smart. And then the indicator for measuring that goal should equally be smart. Once you have done that, you have signed it off, you now need to make your personal plan for achievement. If this is my annual target, what do I need to do every week? What do I need to do every day? What do I need to do quarterly? How am I going to track my own personal achievement? You must have your own personal plan. Break down your annual target and make sure you track it. I urge you to keep a journal. Your journal could be online. It could be physical. If you prefer hard copies, really it's up to you, but keep a journal. Your journal is for purposes of you noting down the achievement of your targets. Why is this important? Assume your performance is reviewed twice a year. I'll come to that in a minute, but let's assume it's twice a year. After 6 months, with the pressure of the review looming, you're trying to remember, what did I do? What did I do? I know I've done so much. I've been so busy. I can't remember. You put yourself under so much pressure. You put yourself into a pressure cooker. Why? Because you didn't keep a journal. You didn't keep a tracker of your achievement. Every time you would achieve something, write it down. Every time you achieve, write it down. That's number one. Number two, have a file which has the evidence of your achievement. If you're saying, I was supposed to increase sales by 5%, which is from 1,000 customers to 1,000 and whatever the measure will be. Once you have achieved that, in your journal you have indicated that I am now actually at 1,600, okay? What is your proof? In your file, make sure you have filed that. This is the contract I signed with so-and-so. This is the order we received from so-and-so. Make sure there is evidence that can easily be used as proof of your achievement. Rather than looking for it just before your performance review, you are almost guaranteed to forget certain things. And then after the review, you're hitting your head, oh, how could I forget? This was such a big achievement. Avoid that by keeping a journal and a file of your achievements. And remember the little details that are very easy to forget. A customer may have sent you a thank you email. You did such a brilliant job on this and that. Thank you so much. File it. Yes? Your boss may have recognized you for a project that you led and did a brilliant job at. File it. Those are the things that when it comes to your performance review, you will pull them out as proof of this outstanding achievement that you have done. The second thing you could do to help you excel during your performance review, get an accountability partner. This is somebody who celebrates with you when you do well, but also gets you back to line, gets you back on track when you fall off. So your accountability partner is somebody that you trust and who is vested in your success. Somebody wants you to succeed. What are some of the do's and don'ts? Try not to choose your spouse as your accountability partner. Why? Because your spouse is already invested in your success anyway, and you want somebody who will be able to point out not only your good things, but also your negative things. That may not always work in a home environment, because sometimes after a hard day at the office, you want to come home and excel and leave those things at the door, isn't it? But you come in and your accountability partner is your spouse. You thought you had a hard day at the office. Your spouse is waiting for you at home. You didn't do this. You should have done that. You want to draw a certain line there, yes? Doesn't mean you don't share your successes and challenges with your spouse. Please do. But try and get somebody else who is your accountability partner, and let your spouse know, so and so is my accountability partner. At the same time, when you're choosing your accountability partner, try and have somebody who is not in a relationship with you that is reciprocal in nature, where, because I want you to be good to me when you are doing your own review of me, I have to be good to you. We are so busy scratching each other's backs, we are not telling each other the truth. No, you want somebody who can call you out and be very honest. That's the type of person that you want to have on your accountability partner. Yes? Choose somebody that will take this seriously. They need to understand how important this exercise is to you, and they should take it as seriously as you. And also choose somebody who has the time to meet with you for your accountability talks. You can agree, are you meeting once a month, for instance? Yes, up to you. It could be once a month, it could be once a week in the initial phases of you setting up, and then once it's all sorted out, you can meet perhaps monthly after that, perhaps quarterly after that, but don't leave it too long, because if you're not meeting your targets and you're only meeting your accountability partner once a quarter, if you haven't met, it means you're 3 months too late. You don't want that. Meet frequently enough that if you're off course, you can be brought back to course, but not so frequently, such that the partner is like they're working with you. And once you have chosen somebody who can bring some experience, that's quite important, yes? Let them have some experience that they can also be a guide to you. So once you've chosen them, set your goals. What are the goals? What are the metrics that you've already agreed? Share with this person so that it's very clear. Your meetings should be very focused. We should be meeting to talk about the milestones. We agreed between today and our next accountability meeting, I will have achieved X. When we meet, what we should be talking about is achievement, not work in progress. No, that's not what the meeting is about. Oh, you know what I am doing? No, we don't want to know what you're doing. We want to know what you have done. Those are accountability meetings for performance. We agreed you would do X. What have you done? This is very important. Okay. That journal that I mentioned could be very useful for your accountability meetings, because remember, you've written it down. It helps you keep track of those things. You want to set a regular performance review schedule. Do not have a performance review only once a year. Are you going to wait for a whole year to be told that you haven't performed? Or for you to tell the person you're supervising, oh, by the way, this year you have done complete rubbish? Really? After 1 year is when you're telling me that? Where were you all these 12 months? So it's important. Keep it frequent. My recommendation is you should have a quarterly review session. You should have a semi-annual review session. And then you have the end of year review session. In between, keep giving each other feedback. So your boss is constantly giving you feedback. You are giving the people you supervise feedback. Oh, here, you know, it's like this. Here, you need to do that. If you ask pilots, if the nose of the plane is even 1 degree off and they go in that direction, how much farther away will they eventually land from that target they initially set out? So it is with you. If you're not constantly course correcting by regular feedback, by the time you're coming to meet, you may find, actually, I really wanted you to go north, but you very diligently and very committedly were going southwest, thinking you're on the right course. So it's very important to have regular sessions for your formal review, and the informal ones are the constant ones I'm telling you about, where you're always course correcting as you go along. Okay. The other thing you need to do is to get prepared. You need a detailed log of what has happened, but in that log, what are you keeping? I've told you about a journal and I've told you about a file. I want you to have specific examples of this outstanding performance. So rather than have a very general, I helped to improve communication, I increased sales, I improved teamwork. What does that mean? Be very specific with the project or the task that you did that proves how you enhanced communication, how you built the team, how you increased your sales. You want to have specifics. That's what you're noting down in your journal and keeping evidence. I want to tell you, turn your performance review session from a stressful event to a stage where you are showcasing your achievements. That's how you should think about it. Showcase yourself. And for that, you need to keep track of your achievements over the period with enough specificity to prove how outstanding you've been. Now, waiting until the performance review to start talking about it is one way of doing it. However, I encourage you to practice. Practice to your accountability partner. These are my accomplishments. I've done this, I've done that, and there. Practice to yourself. You could practice to your spouse. Doesn't matter. Practice. So that this is not the first time you're speaking about this when you meet your supervisor. Remember also, during your performance review, I told you use this as your stage to shine. Write down your list of goals. What are you looking forward to over the next year? Share with your supervisor during this period. Do you need help? Do you need extra resources? This is your chance. So when you turn your performance review into something that is very interactive, that is very strategic, that is very forward-looking, it makes your supervisor realize what a gem they have in you. I want you to also be very clear on focusing on the results. Don't have a session that is purely focused on process. So you have a whole file of all the meetings you've attended and all the proposals you've written and all the tenders you have responded to. At the end of the day, what was the result? This is what your employer is looking for. Impact, not process. Don't keep them busy about how many hours you've spent in meetings and driving around to visit customers. Net, what was the impact? This is what you need to focus on. What are the results that you have delivered to the company? At the end of the day, when you have your targets clearly set from the beginning, when you have a clear plan of how you want to achieve them, when you get yourself an accountability partner wherever possible, when you keep a journal of your achievements and proof of your achievement, the evidence itself, and you practice how you're going to showcase all this, your performance review becomes your stage to shine. It is something that instead of dreading, you will actually look forward to, because you know this is your opportunity to really prove the value that you are bringing to the company, which can then set the stage for other discussions like promotions, like increases, like other benefits that you think you deserve because of the value you're adding to the company. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us in today's show. I look forward to receiving your feedback. Our social media handles are streaming at the bottom of your screen. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.